All right, Shalom, Israel, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh by Shemi Hawashai. Now, part three, we coming back. We did part two last night. Now we at part three, of hidden history. A lot of our history being hidden from us. Since the beginning of time, they've been doing this. They've been hiding our history. They wasn't allowing us to read. And you know why? They wasn't allowing us to read or do research or things like that. Because if they allowed us to read and get information, we'll see the things that they have been doing to us because they fear us. The biggest thing that the so-called white people fear is us rising up against them because they understand, especially when we keeping the commandments of our God, because they understand that He's the God of Israel. And they understand if we all on one accord, Black and Latinos and Native American Indians, which are the biblical Israelites according to the Bible, according to the curses of Deuteronomy chapter 28th chapter. Once they know that once we realize that we the same people, we come together and start keeping these commandments under the Most High God, they fear that. They fear that we gonna do the same thing that they did to us to them. They fear that, man, because they understand the things that they did to us was cruel. That only a devil or demon would do. Even us, we don't have that in our heart to do that to a whole race of people. Even after all this stuff they did to us, we still don't have it in our heart to do it back to them. A lot of our people don't have it in their heart to do it back to them. But these people stole a whole land, stole a whole people, gave them a language, gave them a fake heritage, raped them, robbed from them, murdered them, made them forget who they was, where they come from. You know what I'm saying? Kind, we should give me the book of Psalms chapter 1. No, matter of fact, give me what's that precept when David was praying those prayers against the wicked, the heathen. You know what I'm talking about? Um,
I know. I feel like he prayed a lot of prayers against the heathen.
uh, he did.
You would have to be more specific.
Mm,
I was thinking about Psalms 31, 37, and 9, to be honest.
you can bring that. I was thinking that too. I was trying to find another one, but you can bring that one out because even David prayed on the downfall against these heathen, man.
Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones.
So that was David saying about, you can, matter of fact, start at Psalms 137, start at verse 7, then read on down to 9, so they can see in context what the mighty brother David talking about. Because we should have it in our hearts, because there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with hate. America have it like, oh, he hates. Whoa, he hates. There's nothing wrong with hate, and you have righteous hate though, right? If another race of people do all this stuff to you, it's okay to hate them. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to want the same thing that they did to you back to them. That's what the Lord gonna come and do that, right? He gonna come and avenge righteous. This righteous judgment right here, right? This is righteous judgment for these heathens to go through what we went through plus 10 times more. That's righteous. The Lord, the Most High God, He wouldn't be a just God if He just allowed them to do all this stuff. Hold up. Madness. It's madness. What I was saying, man,
It's
it's
righteous hate. Righteous hate.
it's righteous hate. Um, it's a righteous thing to want what the people did to you. Dang, my mind went blank. It's a righteous thing to want that to happen to them, man. Because the Most High God, wouldn't be a just God if He allowed them to do all these crimes and atrocities that we getting into, and then just allow them to moonwalk in the kingdom of heaven. That wouldn't be fair. That wouldn't be fair to us. You know what I'm saying? Because we went through all that, and it wouldn't be fair, to see them in the kingdom of heaven partying and things like that while we went through all this. So this is a righteous thing. There's nothing wrong with hating your enemies of the other nations. Now it's a scripture in Matthew that says what's that scripture in Matthew? Let me get it, because people get that confused and be like, see, you have to love your enemies of the heathen. Hold up, I think it's Matthew 24.
Love their enemies.
Hold up, Matthew
That's 5:44.
Matthew
Nope.
5:4, yeah, or 40. Start at 43.
They said Matthew 24.
My bad, brain fart.
Ye have heard that it hath been said, Thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thine enemy. But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you.
Right. Now people see this and be like, see, we gotta love the white man because he our enemy. But people don't understand that we have enemies within our own nation, right? You have enemies that's your own people. Wasn't Saul David's enemy? Right? Didn't Saul become David's enemy? Saul wanted to kill David. And the Bible said that Saul became, let me get that precept to prove that. The Bible said that Saul became David's enemy. So you can't have people that hate you of your own people that you gotta love. It's in the commandments. That's why it's very important to get into the Torah from Genesis to Deuteronomy, because that's where all the laws at. And the Bible said you have to love your brother. But during the time, especially in the Old Testament, we was hating our enemy, bro. If he was our brother and he disliked us, a lot of brothers was killing him, putting him to death. But the Bible said we can't do that. We gotta love our brothers, man. And we gotta love our sisters of our nation, of our blood, of our kindred. Um, I think that's 1 Samuel 18:29.
Dang, thirsty. And Saul was yet the more afraid of David, and Saul became David's enemy continually.
See, so all he's saying is Matthew. All he's saying in Matthew 5:44, he basically saying, hey, you know how Saul was David's enemy? He can't be like that. Just like David was the perfect example, because the Bible said the scriptures are made for our learning's sake. David was a perfect example of what Matthew 5:44 was saying, because David didn't, even though Saul hated David and wanted to kill David, David didn't return that same energy to Saul. David would still love Saul. He still had nothing but love for Saul. David could have killed Saul like 3 or 4 times, but he didn't kill him because he still was the Lord anointed. And David understood that. So David still loved Saul. Right? So he the perfect example of what Matthew 5:44 is saying when the scripture said, love your enemy. Do good to him. David wasn't, hey, when Saul died, and I think it was a heathen. When Saul died and Jonathan had died in that war, I think was it an Edomite? He was a heathen though. He came back to David and was like, basically, he said that he killed Saul. So he thought David was gonna pat him on the head and be like, good job, you killed my enemy. But David was mad about that. David ended up putting that heathen to death for that. Because even though Saul was David's enemy and Saul hated David, David still had love for Saul like he was supposed to. Why? Because that's his fellow kindred brother, right? I mean, he from his kindred. That's his brother. He an Israelite. Them two Israelites. So they supposed to show love to each other. Even though one of them hated one of them and wanted to kill him, you still have to love that brother, because that's your brother. That's your sister of your same bloodline, of your same race. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to break that down. So let's not talk about love your enemies of the heathen, because that's a different ball game, man. Because and you have a lot of our people love the so-called white people, man. But with your friend, if these people are your friends, or your buddies or your pals, would they do these hateful acts that I'm finna get into right now? Would they hang you if they was your friends? Would they teach you lies if they was your friends? Would they still celebrate Thanksgiving and the genocide of your people if they was your friends? Right? Would they still celebrate the 4th of July, even though we wasn't free during that time? We was in slavery. Would they still celebrate that if they were your friends? Would they steal your country from you if they was your friends? Would they rape your women in front of you if they was your friends? No. History's letting you know. And that's why they try so hard to hide history. History lets you know these people are not your friends. These people are your enemies. But if you hide the history, when all this stuff happened, you hide it and cover it up. Now our people looking at them as friends because they don't know all the things that these people done to us, man. Only an enemy would do something. It's a constant thing. It wasn't just no one massacre or just no two massacres or three massacres. This was a constant cycle in America, man. Right? That shows you that these people hate you, bro. These people hate your guts. Now we finna get into a sister. Her name is Mary Turner, right? And the act happened right. It was in Georgia. It happened close to me because, like I said, my part two, I'm from Georgia, right? And I think they might have hung. I think she might have been from Brooks County. And let me see how Brooks County is not far. We actually played them in sports, man. In high school, they our rival. They was our rival. I don't know if they still is. No, it wasn't a rival. My bad. It was a region game. Brooks County was in our region, so, that we played in sports. So this happened right down the road from me, man. Let me see how far Brooks is from where I'm from.
I'm already doing it.
Huh?
It's like an hour from y'all.
Brooks County. You sure it's an hour?
Yeah. Yeah, I just looked it up from your address to Brooks County. It's about
Hold on. It's you hear me? You can hear me? Hello?
Hmm? It's froze. It's messing up. See.
Hello?
Yeah.
All right, con. But it's a
You gotta let me know when you leave because I didn't know you was off the screen.
yeah. I had look. You couldn't hear me. I was talking. I don't think you heard me. I would ask could you hear me, but you didn't say no. But yeah, it's 44 minutes from Nashville itself. Brooks County 44 minutes from so it's kind of like the distance from here to Valdosta. I think Valdosta like 48 minutes. So yeah, it's around there. So it's down the road. This happened down the road, but they don't really talk about. They want to talk about the championships that Valdosta got. You know, they call it because Valdosta got a lot of championships. They call it Winterville. That's what they call Valdosta. They call it the Winterville. They had a show on Netflix. I forgot what that show called. Valdosta football. But Valdosta and Lions pretty good throughout history. I mean, throughout time in football. But they talk about the championship, but they never talk about this stuff that happened in Valdosta, man. So when you think about Valdosta, you don't think about Mary Turner. When you think about Brooks County, you don't think about Mary Turner. You think about the championships that Brooks County have got for their city. But you don't think about the atrocity, the massacre that happened to a Israelite woman, pregnant Israelite woman, and she did nothing wrong. Is it a crime to speak out now for something that happened wrong? Should you get put to death? Should you get your baby cut out your stomach for speaking out for something that happened that was wrong? This what happened to this sister, man. And we're finna get into it. You can get on start reading, bro.
Con. Mary Turner, pregnant, lynched in Georgia for publicly criticizing husband's lynching. On May 19th, 1918, a white mob from Brooks County, Georgia, lynched Mary Turner, a black woman who was 8 months pregnant, at Folsom's Bridge, 16 miles north of Valdosta, for speaking publicly against the lynching of her husband the day before.
Right. So you know what I'm saying. It was a mob. You know, these Edomites always having mobs. Every article we done read so far, most of them they had mob. They call them mobs, right? So you know, she basically pregnant and she was speaking out to because they had hung her husband today the day before she died for saying he did something, but he wasn't the one that did it, but they killed him. So she was speaking out saying, you know, my husband didn't do that, you know, basically saying things like that. So we can just keep reading on. It get kind of bad, man.
The mob bound her feet, hanged her from a tree with her head facing down, threw gasoline on her, and burnt the clothes off her body. Miss Turner was still alive when the baby when the mob took a large butcher's knife to her abdomen, cutting the unborn baby from her body. When the baby fell for Mary Turner, a member of the mob crushed the crying baby's head with his foot. The mob then riddled Miss Turney's body with hundreds of bullets, killing her.
So that's why we just read about in Psalms 137-9, when the Bible said, happy shall we be to take they little ones and dash their head against the stone. The Lord said we're gonna be happy to do that because they did the same thing to us, man. They play hidden. It's a game they used to play called Hit the Nigger Baby, and we know at fairs they have those games still. But like you know how you have a baseball or a ball and you throwing it and trying to hit like a point or something to try to get like a teddy bear. Well, the things that they was hitting back then was our babies' faces. They had baseballs and they were throwing them at our babies' faces, man. So the Lord said, "You gonna be happy, you Israelite men and women. This should make you happy to take the little ones and dash their babies against the stones because they did the same things to us and didn't have mercy. How do you cut a woman's baby out her stomach and then smash on his head and then shoot her with hundreds of bullets? Imagine shooting a woman that's already hanging, that's already been burnt, or her baby already been cut out of her, and you shoot her 100 times. This is American history, bro. This is American history that we are not getting taught. Why are we not getting taught this history? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. But you got it.
Mary Turner's husband, Hayes Turner, had been lynched the day before. Hayes Turner was accused of being an accomplice in the killing of a notorious white farmer, Hampton Smith, who was well known for his abuse of black farm workers.
So this man was Esau B. He probably had some money, right? And he seen black farm workers. He probably he had some working for him, and he probably was abusing them. You know, they said he was abusing them, so he probably was hitting them with whips, coming out there hitting them with ham. You don't know what he was doing. That's the reason why he got put to death. Because when you constantly beating on somebody, they gonna retaliate. That's common sense. If you constantly beating somebody with a whip, they're gonna eventually retaliate, and that's one reason why the so-called white people they changed our slavery around. We still in slavery, but they stopped beating us because it was too many slave rebellions. You had people getting built up like Nat Turner, start having slave rebellions. In their mind, they thinking like, hold up, we got to stop this. If we keep beating on them and hanging them, they all gonna want to come against us. So we gotta try to change it around, change the routine around, right? So now, um, they still gonna be under us, but they're not gonna really think they're in slavery because we're gonna get them bonuses at their job. We're gonna get them employee of the month. So now they giving us gifts. Well, we forgot we in slavery. We forgot that the white man our enemy because he giving us gifts, right? He giving you bonuses at your job. As soon as you walk in there, it's your so-called black face with a picture that say employee of the month, and you smiling. Now you happy. Oh man, dang. Oh man, Mr. William, I love him, man. He just put my face so everybody can see it. Now you done forgot that you was a slave. You forgot that he's your enemy. You forgot that you're in captivity now, right? So he was very crafty with it. So because he knew that if he did not change that, it was going to be a lot of slave rebellions around the whole world, and they was going to be they were going to be getting put to death. So they're like, we got to change that, man. We got to stop beating on them so much physically, beating on them mentally. So now they don't even know they slaves, right? But you got to.
Where's that? Mr. Smith would bail black people accused of petty crimes out of jail and then require them to work off the fine at his farm. Sidney Johnson, a black man working to pay a legal fee for rolling dice, confessed to killing Mr. Smith during a quarrel about being overworked. Police officers killed Mr. Johnson in a shootout. When news reached the white community, Mr. Turner and other black farm workers who had previously been abused by Mr. Smith were targeted and accused of conspiracy. Many black people during this time were lynched based on mere accusations of murder against white people. Hold on.
So the brother, Hayes Turner, he wasn't the one that committed the crime. He didn't kill that. He didn't kill Hampton Smith, but yet he was hung for it. Another brother did it out of the anger and abuse that he was receiving from from Smith, Hampton Smith, but the brother Hayes Turner didn't kill him. So why was he hung for that? Right? So his wife had the right to speak out because her husband was falsely hung for something he didn't do. And then I think so the brother that actually did it, he died in the shootout. Police officers killed Mr. Johnson in a shootout. When news reached the white community, Mr. Turner and other black farmers workers who had previously been accused by Mr. Smith were targeted and accused of conspiracy. So now the people that was saying that was coming out and saying that, you know, Hampton Smith was abusing them too, people started looking at them as targets for telling the truth. I mean, three or four so-called African Americans are not going to lie and say that a man was accusing all of them at the same time if he wasn't doing it. You're not going to have 5 people come together and be like, yeah, he was abusing me, he was killing me. I mean, he was whipping me, he was working on me. I mean, he was working me extra hard. He was what is it called? What's that word? What's that word? Sexual assault. You know, he was touching me when I was
Harassing
working.
me. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, harassing me. He probably was doing that. Probably a filthy, nasty. He was a filthy, nasty, wicked, stank Edomite. He probably was watching them. You know, he probably was watching them out the window. You know, drinking his drink, lusting after the women, things like that, man. Like, yeah, you got it.
Many black people during this time were lynched based on mere accusations of murder against white people. The same was true as at least 7 confirmed black individuals are lynched by the white mob in response to Hampton Smith's death, inflicting community-wide racial terror violence. Ms. Turner was grieving and spoke out against her husband's death, promising to take legal action. Enraged by this, the white mob made an example out of Ms. Turner, despite having no reason to fear actual legal repercussions from her promise, as black people at the time were not afforded judicial process. So they just shows their true horns because she can't actually speak out anyways. If she was to go try to take them to court, they're not gonna listen to her. Like, we weren't even allowed to do stuff like that.
Right. So they just killed her just because they wanted to. They knew she couldn't really do nothing. They knew she didn't have no power to do nothing really. That's so, like you said, that show they true horns. Right? They show that true horns. They hate us, bro. They want to kill us. But you got it.
The white mob lynched Mary Turner, her unborn child, to maintain white supremacy, silence her, and communicate to the black community that no dissent from the racial order would be tolerated. No member of the mob was ever held accountable for the lynching of Mary Turner, her unborn baby.
So none of them men. And babe, if you want to go to the next article, going into what I had said about the lynchings, the link down there when you type in look down there, racial, yeah, you know. So, but the things that the man did.
Oh, that's how you found that.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I was doing my digging, you know.
All right, damn, proud of you.
I had seen the racial term. My mom actually told me about this a while back. She told me about Mary Turner, but I had forgot about it. You know, then on the chat, I think a sister had said Mary Turner Valdosta, and that would make me look back too. And I had seen this. I was like, yeah, my mom had told me about this, but I had forgot about it, man. So I was like, this something good to bring out because we're not taught about this. This is literally close to where I stay, and I had forgot about it, man. But I think she got one of those little pictures. Not pictures. You know what I'm talking about, babe?
What do you mean?
Not pictures, but you know how they have those little, like, they have like things set up and they tell you what happened, and they set it up at like parts and things like that. So you can, if you go to images, just type in Mary Turner in there. Actually, I'm talking about, yeah.
I'm about picture face. That ain't what called. They said a picture.
Not picture. I'm not picture. I think.
I guess it would be called a memorial.
Yeah. They had like a memorial basically going into her.
Hang about it. It says, near this site on May 19, 1918, 21-year-old Mary Turner, 8 months pregnant, was burned, mutilated, and shot to death by a local mob after publicly denouncing her husband's lynching the previous day. In the days immediately following the murder of a white planter by a black employee on May 16, 19, at least 11 local African Americans, including the Turners, died at the hands of a lynch mob in one of the deadliest waves of vigilantism in Georgia's history. No charge were ever brought against known or suspected participant in these crimes. From 1880 to 1930, as many as 550 people were killed in Georgia in these illegal acts of mob violence.
You notice something? You notice something in that article? I mean, you notice something in that memorial you just read? That they just say mob. They don't say white mob.
Exactly.
You see that? You see that? So if a brother and sister reading this, they go and read that, like they go to Brooks County and they read. I think it's in Brooks County. They put it in Brooks. You go to Brooks County and they read that and they be like mob. They're not gonna think. They probably not gonna think about the so-called white man.
Exactly.
They're gonna think about their people because we the so-called mobs, so-called gangs, gang bangers. They ain't put white mob.
Dang.
You see what I'm saying? You see how crafty? You see how they crafty, bro? These people are crafty. They just put mob. How you not? But you have to go to do your own research, and that's when they let you know white mob. They didn't put white mob though, but they let you know that. They said she was. They let you know she was an African American though. They let you know that she was an African American, but they don't let you know about the people that did it to her. They just say mob. They don't say white mob. Come on, man. But I just peeped that when you're reading it. I'm like, but that's madness, man. Yeah, but con, man. So that's the story. And she was 21 years old. I didn't catch that. Young sister, man, 21 years old. 21. Young. With a baby. They killed her, man. And just think of the fear that she was going through, man. Think of the things that she was going through when that was happening at that particular. She's pregnant. You don't know what her mind was at. She literally 8 months pregnant. And then to see her baby get cut out her stomach while she upside down. And she done got burnt before already. They burnt her up, threw gasoline on her. You know what I'm saying? That's why they have to pay. They have to pay for it. And you wonder why brothers and sisters we feel the way we feel about the so-called white man and the so-called white woman. We feel this way because of history and the things that was done to us. And still, these men and people that did this to us have not got charged for it. A lot of them didn't get charged for the things they did to us. So we thinking like, man, you know what I'm saying? We can't even. You see, you can't really trust them, bro. It'll be in your right mind. You'll be doing the right thing if you don't trust them. Now you have to deal with them because you work with them. You might go to school with them, so you have to deal with them. But as far as you trusting them and hanging with them outside of work, outside of school, no. Right? It's a brother down here. This happened like I want to say like 2 years ago. It's a brother down here. He actually played football. I wouldn't really come up. Let me type this up. I remember people was talking about this, and it happened in Irwin County, not too far from me either. Irwin County. Hold up. Yup, it happened in 2019. Hold up. Can you I'm gonna see the article. Wait, or you can type it in. Just type in Irwin County football player shot. But he's still alive though. He didn't die. But the white dude that did it, he didn't even go to jail. I want to see if I can.
They called it an accidental shooting.
You can click on it right. He's still alive. I think he actually plays football now at dang, what he played football at. I forgot. He in college right now though. He a twin. Them twins. They was pretty good, man. Pretty good football players. But I remember hearing about how he got shot. You might play the video on it too. And I think it was over a white girl too. I think it was over a white girl. If I ain't tripping. You know, the white boy got mad that, I think he was kind of talking to her. She kind of was feeling him, shot him, said it was an accident. He ended up playing football the next year. But I think the brother still got the bullet. In him though. They wasn't able to take it out. But you can play it.
New at 11, we have learned the name of the 16-year-old Irwin County High School student and football player who was shot yesterday. Family members have confirmed that Garland Binyard was hospitalized after an accidental shooting last night. The shooting happened between 7 and 7:30, according to the Berrien County Sheriff's Office. It happened in the 3500 block of Enigma Turner Church Road. Sheriff Ray Paulk says based on the preliminary findings, this was not a hunting accident.
We received a call around 7:30 saying that a 16-year-old male had been taken to the hospital in Irwin County. We began sending folks up there to try to find out and get some statements, find out what was going on. And what we know right now is that two 16-year-olds were at a residence off of Enigma Turner Church Road sometime around 7:30 when a gun came into play and it was discharged, striking one of the individuals in the chest.
Now, the Berrien County Sheriff's Office has requested the assistance of the Georgia Bureau of Investigations to further investigate this case. The GBI said Binyard was shot with a small caliber rifle by another 16-year-old from Irwin County High School. Binyard is stable at a Macon hospital, according to the GBI.
They never say what his race was. They never say his name. You know what I'm saying? You can read on, huh?
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
You know what I'm saying? And the either might end up moving, like the one that shot him. I think he ended up moving. He moved down here and played football the next year. After that happened, like nothing happened. And you can read on down. His parents, they were very upset. I think if you scroll on down, you can see some more on what was said on the accident.
Not really.
Huh?
No.
Hold up. You might have to go to You sure wait, go back? Where you at? Let me send you the link. But they said he tried to say it was a hunt accident, but it wasn't. You heard either might say it wasn't. It couldn't have been no hunt accident. And bro had a rifle. He tried to kill him. Man. I just remember that. I think I was a freshman in college around this time when I heard about this. I'm thinking like, dang, that's crazy, bro. And I already had it in my mind. And they say his parent, I think somebody was saying it was over a girl, over a white girl. You know what I'm saying? And you can already see how that played out. And like I said, we played against them boys, man. When I was in school, and just to hear about that, I was like, dang, that's crazy. But nothing happened to him. Nothing happened to the dude that shot him, though. Even though, and it's so crazy. The dude said it was a hunting accident. But the police said when they investigated, there's no way it could have been a hunting accident. So why is it swept under the rug? Why this situation swept under the rug? You never know. Esau could have gave the brother money to make him. Hold up, I'm finna leave and come back real quick.
All right.
Right, you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, never mind. But yeah, it was swept under the rug, man. But is it something on that?
The likelihood of Garland Binyard getting back on the gridiron this season is slim. Family members said they're thankful Garland didn't lose his life after he was accidentally shot Monday night. They also said they believe the team suspected of shooting him did not tell the whole truth about what happened. People in Ocilla said they're thrilled for Garland's recovery, but hate that he won't be on the football field this Friday night. Antonio is Garland's cousin, said that he and his family aren't too happy about the shooting and what stories were told about what happened. Right now, our family is devastated about what happened. Right is right and wrong is wrong, no matter who do it, you know what I mean. Be straight up with us. Keep it real with us. We know kids are going to be kids and people are going to make mistakes, but don't lie to us. Shanika Pashaw, Bernard's mom, told us about the frightening moment when she received the phone call about her son being shot. I was at home cooking. I called his phone. I texted his phone, and he didn't answer. I was happy he was calling me back, and then it was the kid telling me he accidentally got shot in his living room. Pashaw said at the moment she couldn't process if it was true or not. I said, "Are you serious?" He said, "Yes, ma'am." I said, "Where are you?" He said, "I'm on my way to the hospital." So I hung up the phone and called his mom, and I told her, and I hung up the phone and went up to the hospital.
So hold on, it said he was shot in the living room.
How
was it a hunting accident? How was it a hunting accident if he got shot in the living room? So nobody question that. I'm not even a detective. I'm not even an investigator. I'm simple Obadiah. So you telling me he was shot in the living room, but the dude said it was a hunting accident. Now I'm not the smartest guy, but I'm pretty sure you hunt outside. You go and hunt in the woods. So how was it a hunting accident if he was shot in the living room? That don't make any sense. And if he's not telling the 100% truth on what happened, you know they're trying to hide something. It's something that they're trying to hide. They don't want the news to know because they don't want him to go to jail for attempted murder. Because it wasn't no hunting accident. Let's be real. It wasn't no hunting accident because he was shot in the house. And he had to be pointing a gun at him to shoot him. How do you accidentally shoot someone like that? How you accidentally? You ain't throwing him the gun, and you ain't even supposed to, if you playing like that, you ain't supposed to be pointing the gun at nobody. And Jake is not gonna let you point the gun at him, man. Pointing the gun at him, then you accidentally pull it and you shoot him. Come on, man. Let's be real. But you got it.
That's pretty much it. You're just saying how he carries the football team and he was a good player.
Hold up, man. Kind of got loud in here. That's Satan, though, man. Hold up. And you notice the first thing they said was football. They hate he couldn't be on. That's madness. That's how they look at us, man. They look at us as just athletes. The only thing they was worried about when he got shot, they hate that he wasn't going to be able to play on the field Friday. They hate that he wasn't going to be. So what about him? So that's all he got to life is to play sports? You hate that he got shot because he won't be able to play on the field? That's how they look at our people, and that's how our people look at our own people. Because that's how we've been taught to look at each other as just athletes. If you don't make it out being an athlete, you ain't gonna make it. That's how we've been taught in our mind. We look at each other as just athletes. You know what I'm saying? So I probably can think of some more stuff. I'm gonna come back with the next part, probably on the next part. The stuff that happened down here, because it's another act that happened down here, another event that happened down here, man. But it's just one of the most I made me think about that happened in 2019, and it's kind of been brushed under the rug, like nothing happened. Like nothing happened. You know what I'm saying? He got shot. They said it was a hunting accident. He survived. Okay, cool. He cool now. He's all good. Nah, bro. Nah. But that was the one on Mary Turner and the brother Garland Benyard. I wasn't planning on bringing this one out, but there's just an event that happened that was unjust. That justice wasn't served, because although he didn't die, it still should have been consequences of this man shooting him, even if they say it was an accident. So nothing happened though. Either this man could have died from that gunshot. You feel what I'm saying? Nothing happens for that. You know what I'm saying? So that just stuff like that, should make you think, and just to let you know, man, that these people hate us, that we are hated here, and they only brought us here to work and to make money for them, to be entertainment for them. That's the only reason why we brought over here. It ain't because they like us. They want to bring us over here to be friends and learn our ways. No. One thing, and one thing only, was to make money off us. Right? But I yield on this topic, man. Justice will be served.
Come on, bring that out.
You're gonna be judged, man. Should get numbers. Huh?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Can you get numbers 35 and 33? And yeah, you can get that next article about the hanging lynchings too.
So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it.
So this is why the Lord gonna destroy this place. because this place is defiled. It's too much blood on this land. So the Lord say blood defiled their land. So that's why this land gonna be destroyed. Babylon the Great, America is gonna be destroyed. And that's why the Bible said, the only way you can cleanse this land is by shedding the blood of the people that shedded the blood. So what people shedded the blood of our people and of any other race? So-called white man. So now they blood got to be shed, for the shed of our blood. Cause innocent blood they've been shedding throughout history. It didn't really make you think because at times I didn't even know nothing about none of this history, man. But now it make you think like, bro, these people really shedded innocent blood. And I had seen the picture. It was like if America could talk, it said if America could talk, before it said a single word, it would cough up all the blood that it had in his mouth. Something like that. Basically saying this place is so bloody that if America could be able to talk, it won't be able to talk by coughing all that blood up that's on the land. And that's true, man. All this bloodshed here, man. This place is defiled. This place is defiled, man, full of blood. The American flag. Every time I see that American flag, I think of blood of my people, man. I don't think about the land of the free, the home of the brave. I look at that American flag and think about all the bloodshed that was shedded from the Black, Latinos, and Native American Indians. That's what I think about. But you can get the lynchings, baby. Now this is a website I actually found when I was looking up Mary Turner. I clicked on the link and this came up. It had lynchings in different states. And we chose I chose some specific states that my reel gonna pull up just to show all the lynchings. These are just the recorded lynchings that happened. Who knows how many lynchings actually happened in these states that wasn't recorded? These only some. So we finna get into it. Just look and see how many lynchings was in these states. You know how to get to it, my love.
What states did you want? I'm already here. What states did you want?
It's probably it's a better way to do it. So you don't gotta click like that. But you can do it like that. You can do it like that. You can do it like that. Georgia you can do Georgia first because I was born in Georgia. I ain't gonna
595
595 lynchings
reported.
And go back, click the back arrow because I know it you can go to when it show you all the counties that was the lynchings took place at. Scroll.
I don't know how to work this.
Go down. Hit the back button again. You might have to click on the link I sent you. It'd probably be easier.
There is a link you sent me.
No, you remember you clicked on it from that website. If you click on the link I sent you, it probably take you to the beginning, but it took you right here. Because I know when I clicked on it, it took me.
The link you sent me literally took me here. If you send if you want me to be at a certain place, you gotta
click on reported lynchings. Look on the bottom right. Reported lynchings by country. By county.
I can't click on that. No.
Go up the lynch. Go back to where you were just at on the left, bottom left. Bottom left. Yeah, over there. Go up. Down. Explore.
I am an explorer.
Hold up. I want to show the I just seen you. I got pictures of them.
What page are you trying to get to?
You at the right page, but it took it different. It did I'm finna show you.
But you obviously want me to go to some specific. I'm asking what is that specifically that you're trying to get me to go to? So I can try to navigate my way there. You're not really explaining much.
I just sent them to you. You click on that. All right, just click the bottom arrow in the middle. See what it says. Click it again.
I know. I had it on the homepage on my phone. It's tripping.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to I'm trying to get you to go back to the home page. Because the home page you can go to.
See, yeah, I know what you're trying to get me to go to. I'm able to do it on my phone. It's just tripping here, huh? Let me try this.
I sent you some pictures if you want to do it like that. I don't know why it's doing that.
All right, I'll just post pictures.
Unless you hit them, go to you see the top right at the screen, you got them two lines. What that say? Yeah, what's it? Scroll.
This thing tripping.
Read online. What that say? All right, go back. Go back to the it's tripping. But I sent you the pictures. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if you better show it or you better pull them up.
I'll try. I'm trying to send to my email. Can you leave and come back? It sounds staticky.
Now, I ain't gonna do all the state like brothers and sisters. You can go to the website and it's better to do it on your phone because it literally can show you. You can choose what states you want to look up. But I'm just gonna do the state of Georgia because that's where I was born. But it's like I think Louisiana had a lot of them. Mississippi had the most. I think they had like 659 lynchings in Mississippi. Louisiana had a lot. Florida had a lot. Alabama had a lot. Texas has a lot. Georgia, Florida, Mississippi, Texas, Louisiana, Alabama. Them was the ones that had most of the lot in the South, man. The South is in the South. That's where most of the lynchings was happening. Now this is a good website. Brothers and sisters definitely look into it, man. But these are the lynchings that happened in Georgia. So how many lynchings it was? I think it say on one of them pictures I sent you. I think it was 595. You on mute, by the way. I think it was 595.
595.
It was 595 lynchings. Now, is there a way that you can zoom in a little bit? Now these are places that happen in Georgia, and I know where most of these at. And I think the county that had the most, was it Early? I think it might have been Early County that had the most lynchings in Georgia. No, I don't think it was. It might not have been Early. It might have been. Let me see which one it was. Because Early had 24 lynchings. Brooks County had 20 lynchings. It might have been Early County with 24 lynchings was the most in Georgia. If I ain't tripping, if I ain't overlooking nothing. You can go. You can go to the next picture, babe.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it might have been Early County with 24 lynchings. Early County had 24 lynchings. Clinch County had 2. Cook County had 1. Coffee County had 8. Dooley County had 8.
What are you reading off of, my love?
Oh, on my phone.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I was just reading the one. It's on the other picture. Montgomery had 10. You see, it say 595 reported lynches. Yeah. Brooks County had 20. Early County had 24. I think 24. That's a lot. Blakely County had 10. Calhoun County had 9. Lowndes County, Valdosta had 4. Yeah, man. Camden County had 2. Wilcox had 6. Monroe had 6. Gwinnett had 1. Fulton County had. Hold up. What was it for? I just seen it. Cockwood had 7. Cockwood is Moultrie. That's what we be going to labor at sometimes. It had 7. Decatur had 10. Eccles County, full of white people, had 4. That was reported though, right? And I'm gonna get some. You don't got to pull them up, babe, but I'm gonna get some in Florida. Florida had 319 reported lynchings. In Miami-Dade, you had 4. And Sewanee, you had 12. Orange County, 33. Alachua, 20. Columbia, 20. Polk, 20. Hernando, 13. Hampton, 6. Calhoun, 4. Holmes, 7. Jackson County, 9. Lafayette, 13. Levy, 8. Hillsburg, 5. Madison, 14. Hernando, 13. That's in Florida. Now I'm gonna get one more. I'm gonna get Louisiana. Matter of fact, no, I would get Mississippi, but I get Mississippi had a lot on. Louisiana had 549 lynches reported. Dang. 48 lynches in Caddo County. 11 in Jefferson. 9 in Iberville. 12 in Madison. 10 in Calbourne. 29 in Tensas County. East Baton Rouge 2, West Baton Rouge 3, 8 in Lincoln County. Point Cupey 11. Arcata, whatever that say, 38 lynches. Tangua for 24. Dang, Laforche. What kind of names these is? Laforche. 52 lynches in Laforche. Man, look this up. LA. Hello. I don't know. She about laptop. Hey, babe, you can look up Laforche. Lafourche.
LAUO.
No, LAFOURCHE County.
Laforche.
It was 52 lynchings there. 52 lynchings there.
You look racist.
Madness. Louisiana had some crazy county names, man. But it been a lot of lynches there, man. And they ain't gonna even get into Mississippi. Brothers gotta look at that on their own. Mississippi had some numbers, but I knew Mississippi was racist, but I ain't know Mississippi was like that, man. They had some crazy numbers, bro.
I wonder. Honestly, I wonder who was the like. I honestly wonder what was the most racist county. Like, I wonder who had the most amount of lynchings.
You probably can look it up.
I want to know.
What county had the most lynchings? It probably was that county right there. 52, that's madness. You ain't even got to say African American lynches. Do it say? Yeah, just say what's the most lynches. Mississippi.
Then it was Georgia, then it was Texas. That don't surprise me.
You said
I didn't know Georgia was that racist.
What? Shoot. Confederate flags everywhere. So the height. Wait. So it was Mississippi then Georgia. Where you see that at?
Mississippi, Georgia, Texas.
Oh, okay. Mississippi, Arizona. Oh, it said there's no recorded lynches in there. It said Texas was third with 493. I wonder, can you try to find like the state, then they got how many lynches in order to see. You might can put like a graph. I knew Mississippi was gonna be number one, but I seen that on there. I like Mississippi.
There's not a.
You might type in order. What states in order of most lynches? See what comes up. Emmett Till.
Wait, what do you mean? What states in order? They just told us.
No,
I'm confused.
I'm saying in order. They showed us 3 of them: Mississippi, Georgia, and Texas. But see if it can show you like more of them of the states that was after them, and see how many lynchings they had. Right there. Go back up. Lynchings by state and race, 1850. I think you clicked on the wrong thing. Right there, yeah. Alabama had.
It's in order by the name.
All right, go back. I think it was. They capping. Wasn't no whites getting harmed.
Mississippi, Georgia, Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Tennessee, Kentucky, South Carolina, Missouri, Oklahoma, North Carolina, Virginia, Montana. So basically, when you get up north, it stops when you get up north.
Yeah. It stopped when you get up north.
Because wasn't up north like it was more slaves down south, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, the South.
That's what I'm saying. They're trying to show some about whites, but this is going back into slavery, bro. These were during the time of segregation and things like that. Though these mobs, they was going strictly for our people. We ain't gonna read no article that we get into going into the massacre of them coming at whites. If it was them hanging themselves, they was hanging. They own people was doing that to them. It wasn't. They was doing this to us unjustly.
We were probably too scared to do something like that. And even if we did, it was probably during an outrage or something.
Yeah, like we not finna go in and hang them like that, man. They was doing that strictly out of anger towards us.
Mm-hmm.
So I know Mississippi had that. Dang, we like and but man, that's madness, man.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't really know. We truly don't know how many it is for real, because they're just talking about so-called blacks. It don't really say about
Hispanics or Indians.
right. It
Native
don't
Indians. It's way more than that. Way more. I tell you that.
most definitely.
This ain't even the iceberg, the tip of the cake. This is just surface level.
But yeah. They don't want to show, and they want to show whites getting home. So it'll be like, our people want to be like, well, it wasn't just us, it was them too. So man, they ain't well, we ain't learning that in school. But yeah, man, that's what it is, man. But yeah. So Mississippi #1 with the lynchings. Georgia right along with them, like, and you can still feel the racism in the air, man. You can still feel that in the air. And if so-called whites was getting hung like they say, why we don't see pictures of that? Why we don't hear about that? Why we only hear about us getting hung? Right? You know what I'm saying? That's how you know it's cap, lies, right? But you can go to the next one though. The next
Black Wall Street.
Black Wall Street.
Okay. At the turn of the 20th century, African Americans founded and developed the Greenwood District in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Built on what had been formerly Indian territory, the community grew and flourished as Black economic and cultural mecca until May 31st, 1921.
Right, and it's going into Black Wall Street. A lot of people know more about Black Wall Street now than they did before. Cause like me, man, when I first was coming into the truth, I used to go to Juneteenth, man. And Juneteenth used to have everything. When I first heard about Black Wall Street, and I was first coming to the truth, I had got a shirt. I had got a Black Wall Street shirt. I don't know if you can see. I had bought a Black Wall Street shirt, and I put some fringes on it because I was like, bro, these, I was first coming to the truth. I was on Esau head, like, bro, these folks wicked. And then I had bought a Black Wall Street poster, man. I was like, bro. You know what I'm saying? I was really getting locked in. It was not really coming in and seeing the true colors of these heathen. And I was like, man, getting into my history, man. But Black Wall Street was definitely like in the first episode, how we talked about the movement. They did that, but it was, I want to say it's worse. Because they both was bad. But this in Tulsa, Oklahoma was more bigger because they burnt down more communities. Black owned, thriving communities, man. And I'm gonna send my River a picture that she can pull up after she get done reading to show you how many entrepreneurs we had in our community on our side of town. What you got, Lee?
That's when a white mob began a rampage through some 35 square blocks, disseminating the community known probably as Black Wall Street. The word disseminating, which means to kill or destroy. Armed rioters, many deputized by local police, looted and burned down businesses, homes, school, churches, a hospital, hotel, public library, newspaper offices, and more. While the official death toll of the Tulsa race massacre was 36, historians estimated it may have been as high as 300. As many as 10,000 people were left homeless.
Mm.
The incident stands as one most horrific acts of racial violence and domestic terrorism ever committed on American soil.
They said what?
The incident stands as one most horrific acts of racial violence and domestic terrorism ever committed on American soil.
Ever committed on American soil. But we're not taught about it though. We're not taught about the worst event ever committed on American soil. We're not taught about that though. Why are we not taught about this history? But we in history class every day in school, but we not getting taught about history for real. They say the Pledge of Allegiance before class. They try to make you stand up. I never stood up, but they want you to stand up for the flag. And you stand up with your hand crossing your heart, making an oath to this country. But they're not telling you the things that truly happen here. They're not telling you the things that truly happen here. So you're making an oath to a wicked country. What you got to do?
In May 2021, 100 years after the massacre, 107-year-old Viola Fletcher testified before Congress. On May 31st of 21, I went to bed in my family's home in Greenwood. She recounted, the neighborhood I fell asleep in that night was rich, not just in terms of wealth, but in culture and heritage. My family had a beautiful home. We had great neighbors. I had friends to play with. I felt safe. I had everything a child could need. I had a bright future.
Hold up, babe. Wait. Scroll back up again. What did she say? What she said? I went to bed in my family's home in Greenwood. She recounted the neighborhood I fell asleep in that night was rich, not just in terms of wealth, but in culture and heritage. Can you go to Revelation 2:9 real quick? So it's like they wasn't just what they had wealth, but that wasn't what made them rich. Their heritage and their culture what made them rich, not the wealth that they had. Revelation 2:9 said the same thing about our people.
I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan.
So the Bible said, I know thy works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. So he talking to the real Jews right now. He talking to we are the real Jews. If you didn't know, so-called African Americans, we are the real Jews. Those fake Jews over there in Jerusalem right now, they call themselves Jewish. They're not the real Jews. The Bible said they're the synagogue of Satan. But the Bible said, I know thy works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. So even them fake Jews over there in Jerusalem, they're not in poverty, right? They're not in tribulation. They own Hollywood. They own these football teams, NFL, NBA. Jewish people own all this stuff. So how are they in poverty? He's talking about us. The Bible said, I know thy works, tribulation, and poverty, but thou art rich. So the Bible said he know the things that we going through, but we rich. How are we rich still though? If we in poverty and tribulation? Because of our heritage, right? Us being Israelites, because of our culture, because of the covenants that was given to us. This was made us rich. Material things don't make us rich because we rich spiritually. We got a beautiful heritage that we got to follow. And that's the same thing that the sister or the brother who was speaking, what they said, what they just said. You know, so I just thought about that when she said that. But you can bring it back up.
Okay. Then she said, came the murders rampaging on the street. I still smell smoke and see fire. I still see black businesses being burned. I still see airplanes flying overhead. I hear the screams. Below, a section of photos that show Greenwood before, during, and after the tragedy. Oh, this is before.
Successful business, man.
North
Very,
Greenwood.
very successful business.
North Greenwood Avenue in Tulsa, prior to the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre, was a main thoroughfare of the Greenwood Commercial District. Thoroughfare just means a street. This became Norker Street, between segregation laws that prevented black residents from shopping in white neighborhoods and the desire to keep money circulating in their own community. Greenwood residents collectively funneled their cash into local black businesses. Greenwood became a robust and self-sustaining community, which boosted barbershops and salons, clothing stores, jewelers, restaurants, taverns, and pool halls, movie houses, and grocers, as well as offices for doctors, dentists, and lawyers.
Right, man. We were thriving. This is what you call black excellence in today's time. We were thriving. We had our own time. We had our own side of town because you had whites always complaining about us being on their side of town. So we were like, okay, we don't need them. We can get it on our own. So then we made our own side of we made our own success on our side of town. When we did that, they started hating.
Look at the women. We dressed modest.
Dress modest, right?
Look at our women.
Look at our women. Look at our women, man.
Nobody care about this ass sitting. Look at him.
Look at our women, man, dressed modest, right? Who was thriving. See them women right there that was thriving, right?
This is the 1920s.
You know what I'm saying? Look at the dresses, man.
I want to zoom in right here. It won't let me though. Hold on. Forget it. But y'all get the point.
Come on, man. Come on, what you got?
I see you just sent me a picture.
Oh yeah, I just sent you a picture just to show how successful they was, man. All that success was burnt down to the ground by our U.S. government, because we talk about Pearl Harbor being the worst bombing on American soil, but we not talked about Black Wall. I think Black Wall Street was the worst bombing, was the worst bombing in American history. Like it just said it. It didn't say Pearl Harbor. You know what I'm saying? So Black Wall Street, and people, they made a movie on Pearl Harbor. Like Pearl Harbor is always gonna be remembered as, they say that it was the worst bombing on American soil.
Man, forget that bombing.
Exactly. But they don't talk about Black Wall Street. Or was it? No, they They say no, they don't say American soil. I don't know. I'm not sure if Pearl Harbor was bombed in America. I think it was in Hawaii. But they do say Pearl Harbor was the worst
Yeah, it was
bombing in
Hawaii.
history. Yeah. They say Pearl Harbor was the worst bombing in history. But they don't bring Black Wall Street up.
Disregard us.
Yeah, they say it again. But guess who owns Pearl Harbor? The United States. The United States own Pearl Harbor. Didn't know that. Should have known, of course.
Can I start by reading? Because you're just breaking up.
You can start by reading.
At the time of the massacre, Greenwood was considered by many to be the wealthiest black enclave in the nation. As the 7 photos above show, it wasn't uncommon to see its residents stylishly dressed. Some boasted new luxury motor cars. The incident began on the morning of May 30th, 1921, after a young black man named Dick Rowland, who worked shining shoes, rode the elevator of Tulsa's Drexel building to use one of the few available segregated public restrooms downtown. After the female elevator operator screamed, Rowland fled the elevator and rumors quickly spread of an alleged sexual assault. The next day, he was arrested, leading to an armed confrontation outside the courthouse between a growing white crowd and black men hoping to defend Rowland from being lynched. As things became heated and shots were fired, the vastly outnumbered African Americans retreated to the Greenwood district. The white group followed, and as the night unfolded, violence exploded. So again, this all started as a rumor that a so-called black man raped a white woman.
So you telling me they say one black man raped a white woman and they go bomb our whole city down just by that? That's madness. That is madness. They say a brother raped a so-called white woman. So they're like, okay, he raped her, let's go burn down their whole city. What? That don't even make sense. It don't make sense. You got it, baby. It don't make sense, man.
This is after. And this ain't even fully after. Through that night and into June 1st. So this started on May 30th. Through that night and into June 1st, much of Greenwood became enveloped in billowing dark smoke as members of the mob went from house to house, store to store, looting and then torching buildings. Fleeing residents were sometimes shot down in the streets. Many survivors report low-flying planes, some running down bullets or inflammables. Again, the government is in on this.
They in on it. Yep. They're the ones that had. They're the ones that got the power to get the bombs and get the planes going. This happened by our own government, man. This bombing in Tulsa, Oklahoma in 1921 happened by our own government, right? Not the Chinese. It wasn't no bombing like that. Not the Japanese. It wasn't a bombing like Pearl Harbor when they came in. No, was it Chinese or Japanese? They came and bombed Pearl Harbor. It wasn't that type of bombing. It's when we got bombed in America by our own government that we pay taxes to, that we under. See that? She got it.
At this point, it's just talking about things that were burnt down. I wanted to start it here. By noon of June 1st, Oklahoma governor declared martial law and sent in the Oklahoma National Guard. Officials arrested and detained thousands of black Tulsans, shepherding them to the local convention center and fairgrounds above the rear view of a truck transporting black people to detainment. So they was taking us to prison, and we didn't do anything in these trucks. And they was walking, and the people with guns are the Edomites. They were walking on, of course, the other people and the other brothers. It's like the other people without guns, those are our brothers. They was taking us to jail. There was a National Guard carrying rifles with bayonets escort unarmed black men to detainment. So this is what they was riding in to pick us up. Martial law was declared. Nothing under the sun. Above, a truck is shown carrying soldiers and black men during the Tulsa Race Massacre. Officials rounded up Greenwood black residents, deeming them to be the primary threat to law and order, instead of any members of the white mob who had murdered and pillaged. Indeed, for decades after, the incident was erroneously characterized as a race riot, implying that it had been instigated by the black community. No one was ever held to account for the destruction or loss of life.
What did they do though? They didn't even do nothing, bro. You were arresting innocent people. This is innocent blood, bro. Innocent people lost their life for something that they didn't do. They declared martial law for what? You bumped us. We not coming to y'all neighborhood and starting nothing. Y'all, why would you declare martial law against us and y'all bombed us? That's what made me mad just thinking about it, man. Like, it's insane. This is insane, bro. Like, this is madness. It'd be too much for the head, man. Mess around and get a headache thinking about all these massacres, man. You got it.
After being rounded up under martial law, traumatized Greenwood residents were kept under armed guard, some for hours, some for days. To be released, black Tulsans had to be vouched by an employer or a white citizen.
So in order to be released, they had to what?
In order to be released from prison, basically Edomite had to come let him out, basically. Like they had to be like, nah, he's good, he can come with me, basically. At Tulsa's American Red Cross hospitals, victims of the massacre are shown still recovering from injuries months later. More than 800 people were treated for injuries.
More than 800 people. They ain't enough people to put in a hospital, bro. And we ain't even, all we did was thrive, bro. We are thriving as a community. But yet, supposedly, a brother raped a so-called white woman. So that gives them, the government, the police, the mobs, that gives them the green light to bomb our whole city down. That gives them the green light because supposedly one of us did something wrong, and that's how they look at us, bro. And that's how we should start looking at them. They look at all of us the same. If one of us did that, they look at all of us like that. Or if he raped that woman, all of them are rapists. Let's kill all of them. Or he a thug, all of them thugs. He dumb, all of them dumb. That's how they look at us. So we gotta start looking at them. Oh, they forefathers murderers. They murderers. They forefather, they cousin right there. He wicked. They all wicked. And we got proof to show that through our history. Where they proof at to show us that we was thugs? Where that proof at? To show that we niggas. Where that proof at? But we can show you throughout history that you was a murderer from the beginning, a thief, a rapist. We can show you that throughout history. But how can you show us throughout history how we is that you say we is, in a sense? How can you show us throughout history that we are the people that you claim that we is? What you got there? Is that it on that? Oh my God.
According to the 2001 Tulsa Race Riot Commission report, the most comprehensive review of the massacre in the year after the attacks, Tulsa residents filed riot-related claims against the city valued at over $1.8 million. But the city commission, like insurance companies, denied most of the claims, one exception being when a white business owner received compensation for guns taken from his shop. Above, Black Tulsans salvaged what they could find from their burned homes and businesses and began to rebuild on their own. So this is us going through our burnt community. And this is November 1921. With millions in property damage and no help from the city, the rebuilding of Greenwood nonetheless began almost immediately. So they started back rebuilding the city. No help.
No help.
Many Black Tulsa residents fled the city and never returned, but many stayed and started from scratch. Some housed in Red Cross tents until they could rebuild their homes, and later community landmarks like the Dreamland Theater. In 2001, the Tulsa Race Riot Commission report recommended that survivors be paid reparations, calling it a moral obligation. The pursuit of restitution continued. Doubt it, they got reparations.
Huh?
I just said, I doubt they got reparations. You didn't hear nothing I said? You didn't hear nothing I said?
I heard you. I didn't hear the last part you said about the reparations.
Oh, good going, yeah.
Yeah, I doubt it. And if they did, they're still not going to repay all the things that they done. We all want reparations. Where's our 40 acres and a mule that you said y'all was going to give us? We ain't forget about that. You owe us reparations, all of us. Not just our brothers and sisters in Tulsa, Oklahoma. You owe all of us reparations that you said that you was going to give us 40 acres and a mule that we never got. We will be freaking rich as freak. Huh? We will be rich. If we got our 40 acres and a mule, we'll be so rich right now. So rich, man. How much is that even worth? But can you look it up, see if it come up? Oh, you can show that. You can show that first.
1,600 businesses, 21. You got it.
I was just gonna say these are the businesses that we had in Black Wall Street before they bombed it down. You can read them.
"21 churches, 21 restaurants, 30 grocery stores, 2 movie theaters, 6 private airplanes, plus a hospital, a bank, a post office, schools, libraries, law offices, even a bus system."
We had all that stuff on the other side of town, bro. That's lit. Besides the churches, that's lit. We were thriving, bro, and all that money stayed within our community too. Thriving. Thriving, man. Thriving. They burned it down though, bro. Hating. Oh, what the? Look at this. Look at this. Will be worth what? You doing something?
No.
He was on mute.
Con, I know. 640 billion. It would be worth 640 billion.
Will be worth 640 billion today. Brothers and sisters don't understand, bro. We don't understand, bro. It was a. This is why the Lord got to destroy the so-called white man. This is why the Lord got to destroy America, man. The lies. the
Yeah.
deception, the murder, the bloodshed here. The Lord God destroyed this place, and He gonna do it by His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, who the world calls Jesus Christ. Real soon. So Lord willing, this part 4, part 3 or part 4? This part 4?
Part 3.
Part 3? Lord willing, this part 3 was very edifying to brothers and sisters, man. Just getting into our history, just to show the wickedness that our people going through and what we've been through. Right? This country never loved us, man. Never loved us. Never cared about Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. And Lord willing, I'm gonna get into some Hispanic history too. They got treated same way as we did. Native Americans, same way as we did. So Lord willing, this will edify. I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Say Shalom and Kwam Yasharallah.